What's up, Jags fans? Caught you guys by surprise tonight, didn't I? That's right, I did, because tonight was a sneaky live show. All right. The only way you caught this live show is if you get notifications on YouTube. The only way you get notifications is if you subscribe and you're a member. Appreciate everybody that's here. I really wanted to do a Browns preview show. I was back and forth on it because the problem with doing a preview show about a game that's less than 24 hours away, there's not a lot of time for people to watch the video. But then I was like, you know what? I like doing this. I like talking to you guys, so we're gonna do it. So we are ready. We got clips loaded up. We are ready to go. So before we get into all that, shout out to the chat, man. This show would not happen without the chat. This is your first time watching. This is a live show, and it's an interaction with the chat. So get in there. If you're one of those shy people that doesn't like to comment, you got to get over it, okay? Because we're Jags fans. We're talking Jags. We all have opinions about the Jags. This is our medium to talk about it. So shout out to Shay J, who not only was the first one in the chat, but he's a channel member. You can be a channel member too. You can be a part of all the benefits that comes with that. I encourage it. This is going to be a good year for Jags United, if you know what I mean. YDog 5000 says, yo, I caught a live. That's it, man. William says, Ayo. I mean, the comments are actually kind of pouring in. I like that. Tallahassee, let's go. I'm here from at the start, says Man of the Crusades. Woo-wee, let's go. Jed Camplain says, yay. Hey, listen, if you're excited, I'm excited. Chef Florida Boy says, I haven't caught one of these in a minute. I know you haven't, Chef. You know what? I was actually kind of thinking about it the other day. I was like, come on now. I haven't seen you in a minute. Where are you at? Man of the Crusades is not going to talk to me. Not going to talk me to sleep tonight. I'm pretty amped. I'm not going to lie. I'm amped for this game. Like, first home game, I'm going to be there. Again, if you're going to be at the game, hit me up. You can hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, whatever else. I'll probably be in like the Bud Zone area. I know, whatever. Judge me all you want. I'll be in that area. Hit me up. Let's talk Jags. Listen, I'm all about talking Jags. I end up talking Jags all day anyway. So, Robert Adsert. Now we will see some football. You're right. We got the starters playing. And we have Deshaun Watson. I mean, unless Goodell comes out with something literally tomorrow, Deshaun Watson's playing. He's playing, so that's awesome. Volk Fang says, Jason's out here trying to throw me with the surprise live stream. It was. I did this on purpose. I really did. I was going to tweet it earlier, and I was like, nah, I'm going to just let the Noti gang get in here quick. 21 Balta says, drop your nads and grab your bats. Never heard that before. I like that. Joseph Drawbond, Brujas and Yeehas. Let's go. I like it. Nolly Full Cab is a channel member, one of the best channel members. Spams the Blake Bortles emojis. He can do that because he's a channel member. And I will never remove the Blake Bortles emojis because Blake Bortles will forever live in our hearts. Xeno Wolf says, sneaky Jason. Yes, I know. That's very true. Robert Adler, just be glad Watson is out our division. That's true. He was a good player. And listen, I want to play this clip because having Deshaun Watson, that is such a weird situation. It's so funny. Dude, people have such like polarizing opinions about Deshaun Watson. Like, I love it. I love it because, you know, at the end of the day, I don't care. Don't care. A judge said 6 games. I tend to side with judges in life. But the commissioner, who doesn't have an ounce of respect for me as far as like enforcing like player conduct, is now like whatever. So I watched the whole Kevin Stefanski interview, press conference, and I was like, literally, no one's gonna ask him about like what his plan is if Deshaun Watson's out for the year. Like no one's gonna ask him. And you have to keep this in mind. Kevin Stefanski, very Bill Belichickian when it comes to how he handles his press conferences. Doesn't answer anything. Doesn't say anything. It's super stupid and super annoying. But finally, one of the reporters asked him about, have you thought about if you were going to have Deshaun Watson out for the season? Because rumors are that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be a guy they go after if he's out for the year. So finally, someone asked him. Finally, is at the very end. This is how they ended the press conference. They literally ended the press conference after they asked him, "What do you have any plans if Deshaun Watson's out for the year?" This is what he said.
think you know me well enough, Mary Kay, where we're just dealing with today. I don't know any other way to do it, and I think the team understands that as well.
I mean, literally, he's like, you know me. I'm just going to take it one day at a time. And that's it. So, literally gave no information. I'm just glad somebody asked. I was like, literally, everyone's here through this whole press conference and no one's going to ask. They did ask about Deshaun Watson early in the interview. Like, the first couple questions were about Deshaun Watson, but just about if he was going to play or not. And this was like 2 days ago. And, you know, he has the perfect, like, excuses. By the way, 21 Baltus joins us on the Trevor Lawrence level. Thank you. I appreciate it. 21 Baltus. Thank you for being a channel member. Oh, that is so awesome. Thank you so much. Man, I appreciate that. So they asked him. They're like, so is Deshaun Watson going to play? Like, what's the deal here? This is what he said.
I haven't shared it with the team yet, so I'll wait on announcing that. But we have a framework, Jake, of how we're going to handle this preseason. As you know, you always reserve the right to change your mind based on, how practice goes and those type of things. But we're pretty confident in the plan we have.
I mean, listen, it was the most boring interview of all time, bro. This dude didn't answer a single freaking question. Every answer was just like those last two. It was like, yeah, I want to get him to play, but I reserve the right for him not to play. It's like, dude, are you kidding me? Stefanski, horrible interviewer. Doug Peterson was more honest than this guy was, and it was no good. So we'll see. I do want to get you guys' thoughts on tomorrow night. Obviously, we know Trevor's playing. We know Travis Etienne's going to try to give it a go. Christian Kirk, we don't know for sure. I know they want to get Kirk in the game, but the fact that he did have that hamstring injury or whatever it was, ankle, I don't know, whatever it was, you know that they're going to be a little bit reserved with him. So let me know what you guys think about tomorrow. What are you going to be looking for? Are you going to watch it? Now, I know everyone in this chat is like hardcore Jags fans, but some people may not be. So are you even going to watch it? Are you going to watch beyond the first half? That's a good question. Wydock 5000 says, battle of the Clemson quarterbacks. That's true. Deshaun Watson. I thought NFL teams were stupid for not taking Deshaun Watson. So I'm glad I was validated in that thought. Volk Fang, channel member, says, thoughts about the Browns possibly not playing guys like Myles Garrett, Nick Chubb, and maybe Kareem Hunt? That's a good question. So I think that Stefanski wants to play everybody. Obviously Kareem Hunt has this situation. But here's one thing about Stefanski. Like, you got to be careful when you're this type of coach because he clearly doesn't like the media. And time again, he was taking shots at the media. He obviously does not like them. Like, I don't even have them all clipped. Like, he does not like these guys. They asked him, like, because they said if Chubb's going to play, if Kareem Hunt's going to play, if Deshaun Watson's going to play, are you going to play your first string offensive line? Because they've had some injuries along the offensive line. Jedrick Willis is coming off of an ankle injury. And they've had some injuries there. So they asked him about that, and look at look how snarky his response is about to these reporters. You guys got to check this out. This is a good one here.
Would you start your first offensive line if you didn't play Deshaun?
I think I would tell you it kind of remains to be seen, Jeff, but I'll have those type of conversations later in the week.
We won't get to speak to you, though, until
Darn.
probably
I didn't know that.
So
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you guys know. Not keeping a secret. I just want to make sure I tell the team first.
So he hides behind this. This is genius. He hides behind this, like, I'm not telling you because I haven't told the team first. So you can't get mad at him because you're like, oh, he's the honorable guy. He's like, he wants to tell his team first. But he literally just hides behind that for every question. Like, is Deshaun Watson going to play? Oh, well, I want to tell the team first before I tell you guys. Okay, is your offensive line going to play? Well, I want to tell the team first before I tell you. Beautiful. You can't hate the guy for that. The question they should be asking is, why haven't you told the team yet? Because if you had told the team, you could tell us. But for some, like, you said you're not keeping it a secret, but you're not telling the team. I don't know. Interesting. Kate Charles says, hey, brothers, we ready to see this offense tomorrow? Bro, I'm so ready. I am so ready. In fact, I know like some of you guys were on the last show and you know about getting ready for the offense. But I have to play again, like last week when Trevor Lawrence talked about what it was like watching the game from the sidelines. I mean, this is what you want from your quarterback. So they asked Trevor Lawrence, this is like a couple days ago, what was it like watching your team play from the sidelines? This is what he had to say.
Experience like for you?
Yeah, it was cool. Obviously I had the earpiece in, so hearing the play call, kind of playing the game in my head, and then just watching the guys and cheering them on. Obviously, had a lot of guys playing, and just kind of seeing how everyone reacted to the different looks, and then like we talked about, just trying to play the game in your head too. So that's always good. Like part of you wants to be out there, definitely, but. It was. I think it was good reps for all those guys, and then go back to the drawing board and get ready for this week.
Haven't had as much success.
So he's pumped. Like, he wants to play. There's no doubt about that. Trevor is like ready to go. I go back and forth. Like, and I'd love to get y'all's opinion on this. Like, try to take. God, I don't know how to say this, guys. I'm struggling with this. I really do struggle with this because if I were the coach, I wouldn't know how to handle this. Like, I kind of feel like if I was the coach, I wouldn't play Trevor Lawrence. And like, I know it's not right, and I know he needs to see live bullets, and I get all that. Just something in me, just like, I don't know. Like, I think I'm an economist at heart, and I look at like these like risk reward value. What is the value of him playing 10 snaps in the preseason where if one fluky play happens, he's out for the year? Listen, I'm not into like jinxes, I don't believe in any of that stuff. Like I'm not going to jinx Trevor Lawrence being injured, okay? I just don't know if it's worth it. Like, we know what he is. It's not like he's a rookie and has never played before. He played every game last year. Besides the few snaps that Beathard played. Okay, well, he hasn't played with Kirk and Beathard, or he hasn't played with Kirk and Jones and Ingram. Yeah, that's not that big of a deal to me. And if we want to use week one as that, like, I'm okay with that. I don't have expectations of us winning the Super Bowl. I don't know. I just think, like, the probability of one of our starters getting hurt, maybe, like, let's put it at 0.5%, not even a full percent. Let's put it at 0.5% on any given play. One of our starters gets hurt. I don't know if that's worth it, especially your franchise quarterback. I don't know. Like, if we're all reluctant to put in Christian Kirk because he rolled his ankle, like, I don't know. Like, what is 10 snaps? Everyone I hear on the local radio, everything I see on Twitter is 10 to 16, 10 to 18 snaps. What is 10 to 18 snaps going to do in a game that he couldn't simulate in practice? These are professionals. These aren't high school kids. This is professionals that have played an entire season under their belt. So it's hard for me to suppress that feeling. So I'd love to hear you guys tell me I'm wrong, because that's literally just my opinion. It just isn't worth it. You look at guys like Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert has never played a preseason snap. Not a single snap. Okay? We all compare Trevor Lawrence to Justin Herbert as far as like where we want to see his progression year after year. Herbert's never played a preseason snap. So I don't know. Like, I just I want to see them selfishly, but like, I am also selfish enough to know I want my starting quarterback all season, and I don't want some third string defensive tackle that's desperate to make the team hit him below the knees because he wants to get on film. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me get some of these comments. Tiger Talk says, let's go. I finally managed to make it to a live show. Okay, so I'm getting this sentiment a lot, and I appreciate that. So here's what I'm going to try to set up a schedule for you guys, because I'm starting to feel bad. I mean, people are like, I was at work today, and we had this like kind of like open house type situation, and like 2 people were like, yo, dude, you're Jags United. I was like, and this is not in a sports setting at all. I work in education, not in athletics. Well, I work in athletics, but not in like, professional sports. I feel bad. So I think I'm going to put together like a solid schedule so that we can make sure that everyone's here on the nights. But until the regular season starts, just have your notifications on, because I'm just going to be doing them like all the time, because this is just a lot of fun for me. It's a lot of fun for you guys, I hope. But Tiger Talk, I'm also glad you're here. User, probably the greatest name I've seen. Stefanski staying up until 4 a.m. every night worrying about 17 games of Jacoby Brissett. Here's one. I'll raise you that comment. I love that comment. I'll raise you 17 games of Jacoby Brissett. How about 17 games of Taven Bryan, currently listed as a starting defensive tackle on the Browns? Yes, Taven Bryan is listed as a starting defensive tackle for the Cleveland Browns. Love it. Moon Illusion says, I hope Zay balls out. I think we all do. Jingles says, excited about the first stringers. Hopefully Evan Ingram shows up. Evan Ingram's definitely a guy that people are excited about because he's got a high ceiling and he's got a low floor. Those guys are always interesting to see. 21 Balta says, Bortles couldn't hit the water if he fell. Okay, we do not stand for Bortles slander around here, okay? Shay J says, I hope they only call deep balls. Let's take some shots. Okay, but you got to be careful because deep balls are like where your receivers have the biggest potential for injury. And I hate being that guy that's always talking about injuries, guys. I'm not that guy, I swear. But Jakeem Grant just got hurt for the Browns. He's out for the year because whichever quarterback, they didn't say which quarterback it was, one of the quarterbacks underthrew Jakeem Grant. He tried to come back for the ball, got tangled up with the defensive back, out for the season. And you're saying, look, Jason, it can happen during practice as easily as it could happen during the game. I get that. I'm just trying to minimize the opportunities that injuries could happen. Jesus is King, who is great, one of the great benefactors of this channel. So Jesus King, thank you for being here. He says, I just heard Colts want to play Matt Ryan entire quarter, and he's a veteran. I don't understand why he needs that many reps. Again, just to play devil's advocate, because I'm obviously on your side here, Jesus King. There may be a coach that thinks that he needs to get some live reps with his new pieces around him. I don't necessarily subscribe to that, and I don't think it makes any sense. I'm with you here. I really am. I don't know. Israel Otero, I agree with you. I'm not playing the starters at all in the preseason. Josh L. says, we lost Marquise Lee in the preseason a few years back. That really sucked. And look, you can get hurt in practice as well. I mean, it happens probably more often, but it's just like, listen, the thing that really concerns me is just that it's the third and fourth string guy that's like trying desperately to fulfill his dream of playing in the NFL. And that guy isn't thinking about his future long term. He's not. He's thinking about his future right now. He's thinking, I have max 2 quarters to prove myself to either this coaching staff or to put something on film in the NFL to make my family get fed by this profession. And that's a legit thought process. Like, I'm not bashing that person at all, but that person and Trevor Lawrence are not on equal playing fields. Just, they're not. Like, it's not the same thing. So it's a little dicey to put them on the field at the same time. Tigers Hawks, and if I missed your comment, I'm sorry. There's a lot of comments tonight, which I love. You guys are awesome. But and side note, this 21 minutes. I have a little clock here on my little stream software I use. It has a little count up to how long this has been. The fastest 21 minutes of my entire life. Okay, let's just put it that way. If I missed your comment, type it again. If you haven't watched, okay, so a lot of you guys were here. I did an interview with Jordan DeLugo of Gen Jag, and it was beautiful. Like, I mean, the guy is so knowledgeable. I mean, I was just like trying to pull information out of him, and it was just like he's there, his boots are on the ground. Go back and watch it. Great interview. Show him some love, man. And I lined up some other people to be on the show. So next week, you're going to have a little surprise. I'm not going to tell you. Listen, I started it this way. We're going to end it this way. Not telling you. Special guest coming on this week in the industry. You guys are going to like it for sure. Tiger Talk, I'd love just a taste of what is to come in the regular season. I get that too, bro. It's the inner junkie in us, Tiger. Kev B, Watson gets 8 to 12 game suspension probably. Yeah, I saw like that. I was perusing the Browns subreddit because that's a great place for information. And they said like AP or I don't know, it was AP Press, or it could have been, I don't know, could have been anything. And it was like Deshaun Watson's camp's okay with taking an 8-game suspension. It's like, oh yeah. If the appeal board, if the judge, jury, and executioner are appealing your 6-game suspension, yeah, I think you'd be okay with 8 games. That was so funny. Full year. Yeah, but then you got like, Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo's no scrub. I mean, they might have to trade for him. The amount of money they paid to Deshaun Watson. I mean, could not believe it. Like, they literally backed the Brinks truck up for him. 5 years, $230 million. And all 230 of it is fully guaranteed. Like, you don't see that happen very often. Like, that was very confusing. Like, I wanted to say, like, they must know something that we don't, but that may just be a situation where, like, Browns were just the Browns. They're on the local radio. They were talking about how the Browns have had 4 winning seasons since, like, 1990. Can you imagine that? 4? Jesus King, $5 through the super chat. Thank you, Jesus King. I appreciate that. Oh, man. That's awesome. He says, I'm stoked for the interview you've lined up. Jordan was a good one. Thank you. I appreciate it. So I actually have 3 lined up. And actually, I have to space them out. Like, bro, this channel is popping off, bro. I had people reaching out to me to do interviews. And I'm like on my channel? And they're like, yeah. I was like, oh. So you guys have some power? You guys have some influence? Please keep it going for me. I appreciate it. People are hitting me up to be on this channel. So all that credit goes to you guys. Because you guys make this happen. So thank you. Like, I appreciate it. I was just like been on cloud 9 all week when, you know, a guy that used to work on the radio here in Jacksonville. I'm talking to him about coming on because he wants to talk Jags on this channel. I love it. Gary K says, wait, if you don't play the starters in preseason, then first game is first live Bullets practice. It's a good point. And that's the counter argument, Gary. Listen, you have a solid point. You really do. And like, I guess the challenge for me is finding that balance of like how much live Bullets practice do they need? That's my only question. It could be they need some, but I kind of tend to lean toward they don't need a lot, especially if they've played in the league before. Like if they have experience in the NFL, they know what it looks like. So, the great mistake just subscribed. Thank you for subscribing. A live show subscription. I like that. I haven't seen that in a second. So appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Raiden Shogum, who I enjoy. I enjoy their Twitch streams. Raiden is on Twitch, just like myself. I'm also on Twitch. If you're into the Twitch type of thing, I feel like this episode is me just plugging myself. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. We'll go cut to a clip. If you're into the Twitch type of thing, Jags_United on Twitch. Subscribe to that too. We'll double dip on the subscribers. We have no problem with that here. Absolutely not. Shay, and I take Shay's comments very seriously. He says, you're making rational points, Jason. Can't argue there. How about whoever plays just scores more points? Let's hit 30. I feel like you're being facetious there. How about whoever plays just scores some points? Yeah. So to be fair, I don't think the Hall of Fame game gave us much to go off of. I think you're going to see a big difference, and I think you agree, between that, what we saw in the Hall of Fame game, and what we're going to see on Friday. And Shay will be closer to the action than any of us will be. So you tell us how it looks at sea level there, Shay, and then we'll bounce those thoughts off of you for sure. Oh, PineSparrow.us donated $9.04. 904 Duval. That's my favorite donation amount right there. And he just says, or she, I don't want to assume pronouns nowadays, says, let's go. Okay. Hey, thank you, Pine. I appreciate it. Man, this is it, man. I got to play something here so that you guys can, I feel bad just talking and talking and talking. All right, how about Kevin Stefanski? I know you guys are all just clamoring to know on how he feels about okay. This one doesn't give us the information, but I do like how Stefanski just bashes the media. Okay, what's going on here, boys? Jesus King, another $5. Come on, man. Thank you. He says the one thing the media doesn't have on YouTubers is you guys keep us updated with what's going on with the team and you talk to us. Thank you, Jesus King. Listen, I can't thank you enough. Jesus King is literally one of the channel benefactors. There's like a couple of people who I owe a lot of thanks to. My brother has set up like this entire stream, the camera, the lighting, all that. Jesus King with the financial donations. Patrick Jackson with the financial donations and the publicity. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it. We couldn't do this without you. He says that we talked to the fans, and listen, the reason why I started this channel was because like I would just sit there and listen to the local radio and just be like, what? Nothing against local radio people, and nothing against the problem is media. They're not fans. On my interview with Jordan DeLuca, I was like, bro, I respect you, Jags, because you're an actual Jags fan. If you listen to these guys on the radio, they were like, oh, I'm from New York. I'm originally a Giants fan, but I live in Jacksonville now, or I'm from Chicago. It's like, oh, I'm a Jags fan. So let me get off my soapbox here. Thank you for the donation. I want to play you something. This is what Seven Stefanski being a dick to reporters. I know you guys want to see it. Okay, let me just make sure I have the right video loaded up. Okay, this is funny. So the Browns came down to Florida actually early. I think they're in Orlando or something like that. I don't know where, but they're in Florida early, and they had a couple days of practice in Florida. And the media was asking them about the advantages of coming down to Florida early, and then they asked him, like, are you going to go to SeaWorld? Okay, again, I don't know why they asked him that, but they did. And Kevin Stefanski had it up to here with the reporters at this point. I mean, I can only imagine with the all the questions about Deshaun Watson and all of that. And this is what he had to say about that. about that.
It's a secret to the team. You know, I haven't told them about it, so I can't tell you yet.
Planning on leaving the hotel other than
Yes. Yes. You.
SeaWorld?
Oh.
So you can't say
We'll
it?
see. Will you be down there, Tony?
Not that early.
A stakeout waiting for us to leave? Yeah, we'll be doing some team activities.
Question about
All right, so you guys couldn't hear it because I don't know why. I think it might be my fault. I don't know if my computer settings aren't loud enough. Let me just take what I have going on here. No, I mean, I'm maxed out here. So they basically asked him, like, are you going to take the team to SeaWorld? Like, what are you going to do? You know, are you going to do some team activities? And he said, I know, Matthew. That was a bad clip. And he said, oh, why? Are you going to be at SeaWorld? Or are you going to be staking us out? Like, Stefanski does not like the media. You got to be careful when you play that card. Not bashing the media only works if you win. The only person that's been able to pull it off is Bill Belichick, and it's because he wins. So, got to be careful. Volkfang, channel member Volkfang, says, actually watch Goodell drop a full year Watson suspension during warm-ups tomorrow. Jesus King, another $5. We're up to $15, Jesus King. Thank you. You're right. No, I think Goodell will drop. He might drop something tomorrow. Like, I'm not kidding, because they did talk about how like Goodell doesn't want him to play at all this year. If he's smart, he'll do it tomorrow. I'm sorry, Deshaun Watson should not be playing. I can't even look at Deshaun Watson anymore. Jesus King, I'm gonna get your comment in a second, but I can't look at him anymore. I mean, he looks like a little pervy. He's a little perv, bro. Like I'm not into it anymore. Like I used to like him coming out of college. I was cool with it. Okay, this is Deshaun Watson images. Okay, pervy. Look at this guy. Are you kidding me? No, thank you. Look at this. Look at this guy. I mean, maybe this is set up on purpose. Bro, no, dude. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here. No, thank you. Pass. Yeah. No, thank you. Sorry. I would be okay if this guy never played again. Listen, after seeing what I saw, and but the grand jury said that he wasn't guilty. Nah, bro. I was taught at a young age, if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's probably a duck. That's all I'm going to say. Jesus King, thank you for the $5. Says, I agree the media does not relate to us Jags fans. They think they're above us. They do. They do. And I'm not going to call anybody out because I don't have to. I don't have to at all. T-Law gave a $5 super chat. Thank you, T-Law. T-Law says, this is where I get most of my Jags news. Also, I'd rather pay you than Netflix. I'm going to write that on my tombstone, T-Law. Thank you. To keep me entertained. Thanks for the content. T-Law, thank you, man. Thank you, man. Literally, I have to admit, the last, month, you guys have been popping off on the super chats and the memberships and the donations. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate it. Illusion says, I heard it as well. LOL, he was sassy, said Mr. October. Matthew McCray says Jesus was a goat. Jesus a goat? Yeah, for sure. Moon Illusions, all my homies hate Deshaun Watson and stars out his name. I love it. Jags fans are going to end up heckling the hell out of Watson. It's going to be all over ESPN. Thank you, Tugger. I can't imagine like him playing any more games after this. I just really can't. This is probably it for him. Again, I firmly believe that he's not going to play. Like they asked him if he's going to travel. He said he's going to travel. This was Stefanski a couple days ago. This was 2 days ago before he said out loud that he's going to play. They asked him about his plan at quarterback, and listen to how freaking slimy this answer is. All right, the volume's low. I'm sorry.
I haven't shared it with the team yet, so I'll wait on announcing that. But we have a framework, Jake, of how we're going to handle this preseason. As you know, you always reserve the right to change your mind based on how practice goes and those type of things. But we're pretty confident in the plan we have.
So nothing. And I know it's come out since then. Their plan is for him to play. I think that was just a move just so that they could get a decision from the NFL. I mean, like they need, if Deshaun's going to be out for the year, they got to know if they got to make a trade for Jimmy G, because you can't roll into the year with Jacoby Brissett and Josh Dobbs. Okay, as I know, Josh Dobbs was #1 in Madden and trucking, but you can't roll into the season with those two guys. Jacoby Brissett hasn't even played; he's been hurt. They asked Stefanski about Brissett because Brissett's barely played. Like, he's been hurt. Like, he has been hurt, like, all offseason, has barely played at any reps at all. So, like, I know you're thinking, like, oh, Jacoby Brissett's, like, a good quarterback. He's experienced. He's got time on his side. He's played. He hasn't. He hasn't played with his team at all. He's been hurt. This is what he had to say about Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, I'm confident in our plan, Scott. Obviously, like I've told you guys, that will adjust based on information. I'm really comfortable in what Jacoby's done to date with his reps. He's gotten a lot of them. He's gotten some with the ones, some with the twos. And we'll stick to our plan absent any new information.
He loves saying we're going to stick to our plan. Like we get it, bro. You have a plan. We get it. We're not doubting that you have a plan. We just want to know what it is. Like, and I know you're intentionally not telling us, but this is preseason, bro. This isn't the regular season. Like, you're still in the prove it time. Like, I know people like Stefanski. I mean, I like Stefanski, but I don't know. Like I keep saying, you got to be careful with this strategy dealing with the media. You really do. Because the media will turn on you in a second if you don't start winning games. For sure. Let's see here. Volkfang says, even if the local media is bad, they're not as bad as the national media. Shannon Sharp is still not over that Broncos playoff loss. We're not even going to get into that. That would open an entire can of worms, Volk, and you know that would be bad. Matthew McCray, I really came to this channel because I respect your opinions a lot. Super great channel you got. Thank you, Matthew. I really do appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Thank you. I really want to use this platform as an opportunity to get the fans involved. So that's what I try to do. That's why I try to read every comment because, again, I am a fan. You know, I have experience coaching. You know, but high school level, training on the college level, not the pros. So I'm not gonna sit here and like whatever. You guys know. I'm sitting here justifying myself to you guys. You guys know what this channel is all about. Timmy Devil 999, who finally shows up, says we are too trash to be clowning Watson. Watch our offense go out there and stall it. Timmy, you're gonna bring that type of negativity in here. Come on now. You may call it realism. I'm gonna call it negativity. Jesus King says, I don't feel confident for Browns fans. Is he the head coach for them? Yeah. Listen, I've been saying all week, bro, the Browns, I don't know what they think they have on offense, but it's not a lot, okay? Let me just, like, walk you through their offense, okay? Hear me out here. Quarterback, Deshaun Watson, maybe not. If it's not Deshaun Watson, which is kind of looking like it's not going to be at this point, it's either going to be Jacoby Brissett, Josh Dobbs, Josh Rosen's on that roster, and then they're talking about Jimmy Garoppolo. So a bunch of mid quarterbacks taking over this team. And so you may be thinking like, okay, no problem. If they even bring in a mid quarterback, they have the skill position pieces around them to be okay. Okay, decent argument. Let me walk you through their offensive line. Jedrick Willis, love Jedrick Willis, has been incredibly injured. Incredibly injured. Joel Bitonio, okay, don't know enough about him to make an opinion. Nick Harris, mid center. Wyatt Teller and Jack Conklin, who Jack Conklin's coming over from Tennessee, and Tennessee didn't even re-sign him. So something has to be said for them not re-signing him. I would say that offensive line's not bad, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's good. So we'll use the word average. You have David Njoku, who is kind of coming along, and he's been okay, but I think he's a little overrated, and that's just my opinion. But I'll give them credit for David Njoku. I will. Beyond him, they don't have much. I don't even recognize a single name on this tight end list. Then we get to their running backs, stars of their offense. Nick Chubb could be the best running back in the league, could be second, could be third. Behind him, Kareem Hunt. And Kareem Hunt, who is verbally unhappy in Cleveland, which I don't blame anybody. This is nothing against the Browns. I have family from Akron, which is really close to Cleveland. So I've been to Akron a bunch. Horrible city. The sun's never out. It's cold. It rains. Nothing against the Browns. The city's terrible. Kareem Hunt wants to get out. Nick Chubb, who does not talk, okay? Nick Chubb doesn't talk. If you know anything about Nick Chubb, he's like the silent assassin. He will not give his opinion at all. He came out and said that Kareem Hunt was one of his best friends. And now that being said, Nick Chubb also stood up for Hugh Jackson, who I have to say, I'm actually a big Hugh Jackson fan. I know he had a horrible 2-year streak where he won one game with the Browns. I get that. But Hugh Jackson is incredibly respected among coaching circles. He's at Grambling State right now. I don't know. But the thing is you won't be able to afford Kareem Hunt at running back 2 because he's getting paid $1.3 million a year. He's got a $5 million roster bonus. You're not going to be able to afford him. So your strongest position is now breaking down as a Browns fan. Nick Chubb's good, though. I mean, listen, you can't discount Nick Chubb, but we know how running backs go. The running back game can flip overnight. So running backs, I'll give them. They might be top tier at running back. So quarterback up in the air, offensive line average, running back top tier. We'll give them that. Their receiver core, Amari Cooper, good player, but you could make the argument, and I could see the fact that Amari Cooper was really productive because he played on a team that had a good quarterback, focused on the pass, and had other good receivers around him. You look at who he had in Dallas, and that was a squad of receivers. You may not have known it at the time, but you look at a guy like CeeDee Lamb, you look at a guy, I know he was injured last year, but Michael Gallup is a really good receiver. I mean, the reason why they paid Gallup, even though he's coming off of a serious injury, because they know he's good. Now Amari Cooper is lined up with the following receivers. Okay? Donovan People-Jones, who you've heard of, so you got to give him that. Anthony Schwartz, Javon Wims, you've probably heard of Javon Wims, Jamarcus Bradley, Derek Dillon, Dalen Baldwin, David Bell, Michael Woods II, Mike Harley Jr., Travell Harris. Now, I would take the Jaguars receiving core over that receiving core. So now you've given me a quarterback position that's up in the air, a running back position, which I'll give you credit for, is good, an average offensive line, an average tight end room, and a below average receiver room. I don't know where this sentiment of Cleveland being good is coming from. I don't. I really don't. You could make the argument about their defense. Myles Garrett's good. Jadeveon Clowney could be good. He hasn't played in Cleveland, but he could be good. Grant Delpit's a good player. Denzel Ward's up and down, but most people think he's good. Greedy Williams, people like. Greg Newsome, people like. Defense might carry them into this season. I don't know. Just not a team that I'm like I feel better about the Jags than I do the Browns. UCF Jaguar in the chat says Avalanche United. Okay, listen. I know I'm talking a lot tonight, boys. I haven't had a team win a championship in a long time. In fact, the last team that I root for that won a championship was the Avalanche in 2001. Okay, I am a Avalanche fan, I'm a Jags fan, I'm a Magic fan, and I'm a Rays fan. So out of all those teams, the only team that's won a championship is the Avalanche. So yes, it is Avalanche season, UCF. You better believe it. You better believe it. Pine Sparrow says maybe Cleveland will go after Sam Darnold. That's mean, bro. That's mean. K. Charles, I thought they had J.C. Treader at center. So I don't see J.C. Treader on the depth chart. But a simple Google search will tell us that he is retired because he's the president of the NFL Players Association. Is he on the team? Is he on the team? He's not on their depth chart. So maybe he's hurt. Maybe he's hurt. Sorry. He could be there. President of the NFLPA, it's actually kind of impressive. It's actually kind of impressive. I'm sure the chat will tell me that I'm an idiot and I don't know anything about the Browns. Kaio King. I'm just excited to see T-Law and the starters play and wish us Jags fans a happy ending tomorrow night. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. I still haven't decided how long I'm going to stay. I'll probably be there till the end. It's Friday night. Listen, if you guys are out there, I said this at the beginning of the show. You better hit me up on Twitter or Instagram because we're going to freaking party. We're going to party tomorrow, and it's going to be a good time. Seeing Trevor play. Listen, we always get down at the bank. There's no doubt about that. So hit me up. Usually I run into like a handful of people that are part of the channel, and we get a couple of drinks together and we enjoy it. So hit me up. Don't be shy. I know some of you lurkers in here are being shy. Don't be shy. All right. Ben Haney in the chat says, if Trevor gets sacked on the first offensive, you guys are killing me tonight. If Trevor gets sacked on the first offensive play of the game again this year, I might throw something. Bro, here's one thing that like I didn't even think about, and I'll give the local media credit. I didn't think about this. There's like a 40% chance of rain. If it's like the ground's soggy and the grass is wet, don't play. Keep him on the bench, man. What's the point? What's the point? User says the Browns paid all their stars, and that's propping up the roster. Their window is now, and that's why Watson losing a year would be massive. I think you're right. I think that's why they're going after Jimmy G. If they get a year, they have to go through Jimmy G. Now, what do they have to give up? I mean, they don't have a lot of draft capital. I mean, last year, they had no picks last year. I mean, I don't think they had a pick till the third round. I was looking at their draft picks. They had 3 picks in the third round, 2 picks in the fourth. Listen, here's who the Browns drafted. And I bet you the only player that you've ever heard of plays a position that you don't care about. Let me just explain to you. Martin Emerson, Alex Wright, David Bell, Perrion Winfrey, who they like. Perrion's been playing well in camp. Cade York, Jerome Ford, Mike Woods, Isaiah Thomas, and Dawson Deaton. The only player that you've heard of on that list is Cade York, the kicker. And you know it's true. So they did not add a bunch in this draft. And I think it proves your point, what you're saying. They broke the bank to win now with their window. And I don't even consider them a top 6 team in the AFC. I mean, if Deshaun Watson played, that gives you something. It does. Deshaun Watson's a good player. But keep in mind, if Deshaun Watson gets a year suspension, that's 2 years Deshaun Watson has not played. I have never in my life seen a situation outside of Michael Jordan who takes 2 years off and comes back and plays at this comparable level that they did when they quit. Can't think of one. If you can think of one, maybe. Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, he won the Masters after whatever. I mean, I don't know. I don't think Deshaun Watson's Michael Jordan or Tiger Woods. Don't know. Volkfang says, yeah, when was the last time the Penguins won a Stanley Cup? Oh, we're a hockey channel now. Okay. Because I know the Pirates haven't had a good season in my lifetime. If you're a hockey fan, go check out the E60. It's called Unrivaled, and it talks about the Avalanche and the Red Wings rivalry. Oh, amazing. I was crying. I legit was crying. I was. When Patrick Waugh talked about leaving the Canadiens, and joining the Abs because the Canadians coach left Patrick Waugh in for 9 goals in Montreal. Don't get me started on hockey, boys. Matthew McCray says, I wish I could go up to the game, but I'm up here in Virginia. Okay. Listen, Matthew, it's all right. You're in the same time zone, so you should be able to watch the game. Should be good. Moon Illusions. Treader is a free agent. Yeah. Okay. I wonder if he's still the president of the NFLPA. Like, do you still get to be the president of the NFLPA if you're like not employed by a team? Seems kind of, I don't know. Pine Sparrow says, happy ending. He says, happy ending. No, we can't do that. We can't sink to his level, Pine Sparrow. Israel Taro. Did you hear there's a massage therapist convention next to the Brown Stadium? I did not hear that. I don't know if that's true. I'm hoping that's not true. I hope it's not true. Krakatoa says, I'm going to visibly cringe every time ETN gets hit until about week 6. Yeah, dude, I'm right there. Like, that's the type of person I am too, Krakatoa. Like, we're kind of the same person in that situation. When I was younger, I used to love the Ed Reed big hits across the middle. And then something changed when I became like an adult where I was like, oh, that poor boy. Like, please get up. Please don't get, please, like, you know, just wrap him up. Like, I don't know. I got soft in my old age. I'll admit it, boys. I got soft in my old age. It happens. Listen, it happens. You learn to be, you know, cool with your emotions. Okay. Listen, I'm crying at Patrick Waugh in the Avalanche. I don't want players to get it. C. Breacher, the next Jarvis Landry. The great mistake Bozo says Gronk? ? Tiger Talk says, I will not be surprised if Gronk comes back. I think Gronk will come back like in the playoffs for the Bucks. Like he did. Did he do that last year? Set in Sesko. Let's Jags, baby. I'll be there tomorrow night. Said, you better hit me up, bro. I'm not going to be hard to find. I promise you that. I'm going to be loud. I'm going to be in the bud zone. I am not hard to find. All right. Moon Illusions. Any specific players or position groups you're excited to watch tomorrow? So I appreciate the question, but I think everyone's in the same boat. We just want to see anyone that's a potential starter on the offense. You look at guys, especially like the guys they drafted and the guys that they brought in as free agents. Outside of Trevor Lawrence and ETN. So you got Trevor Lawrence, ETN, everyone wants to see. I want to see Brandon Sheriff. I'm like super excited about Brandon Sheriff. You know, Christian Kirk. I don't know if I think he'll play. So just those guys, I think is the answer. I'm excited about Trevon Walker again. After seeing what I saw last week at Trevon Walker, I'm like super excited about seeing what he'll do. Absolutely. Timmy Devil 99 says, being from Memphis, I know I won't be able to catch the game. It's okay. Never been to Memphis. I have been to Nashville. I really enjoyed Nashville. Great city. Hoping Cade Charles says, I'm hoping Watson doesn't ever play again, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I'm friends with quite a few female fans of the NFL, and they do not like Deshaun Watson. And listen, I get that. I mean, it's hard to see. I mean, the way that they treat like gambling and PEDs, like, bro, I don't know. William Marsh, like your film breakdown and knowledge of the game. Thank you, William. I appreciate it. I'm going to be breaking down the game film after tomorrow's game. So I'm thinking Saturday. I'm going to try to put out the breakdown of the Cleveland film. So be looking for Saturday. Probably do a live show because I like live shows better. Shay J says, will Walker make more impact plays? I don't know. That's a good question because I think Josh Allen might play. If Josh Allen plays, that adds a whole new dynamic. So that's a good question. If he does, I better see you out there freaking running out on the field. I know you can't, but I know you want to. The great mistake Bozo says Gronk missed a year or two and came back and was pretty good. Yeah, Gronk's one of those like freaks. I feel you pain productions. Says, how do you feel about the division's quarterbacks? I'm not that scared, to be honest. Now, that's actually, I feel you pain productions. That's actually a point that I've made with a lot of friends that I have. I 100% agree with you. Trevor Lawrence could be the hands down best quarterback in this division. So off the top, you think Matt Ryan. Okay, so Matt Ryan is a good quarterback, but the dude's at the definite end of his career. And I don't think that Indy has the weapons to make him successful. Now, obviously, Jonathan Taylor is going to make any quarterback better. But outside of play action, what does Matt Ryan get out of that? A check down on a screen, a little short pass to him? Yeah. But that's not going to make or break a quarterback's like numbers and success. You need down the field receivers. You need tight ends. You need things like that, and I don't know if Indy has that. Tennessee, like same situation. Tannehill, good quarterback. I think he's underrated, but definitely was the reason why they lost in the playoffs. Derrick Henry's coming off of an injury. They went the route of trading A.J. Brown, which was interesting. Again, another team that doesn't have very many offensive weapons. Davis Mills, long neck Mills. I like Davis Mills. I did a show a couple of times ago with Cole. We talked about the AFC South. Davis Mills is a good quarterback, but he's not Trevor Lawrence. So if not by this year, definitely next year, Trevor Lawrence will be esteemed and regarded as the best quarterback in the AFC South. Tiger Talk. I was disappointed with the Trayvon Walker pick because it felt risky, but I'm super excited to see him play. Me and Tiger Talk are kind of on the same level here because I felt the exact same way. But after one game, I'm a believer. And if you can make me a believer after one preseason game, I'm excited. I'm right there with you. Matthew McCray. I met Watson working for an FCS school. He was an all right guy, but no excuses for what he did. Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where, like, that's why everyone gets mad. I talked about the PEDs and the gambling, like, with Calvin Ridley. It's just like, it just doesn't seem like that's that bad. But when you start, like, taking advantage of women, I don't know, man. It just, like, strikes a nerve with me. I don't know. Like, be better. That's all I can say about that. Robert Atcher says he's got one Pittman. Okay, I'm not as big on Pittman as a lot of people are. And, like, I think the best part of Pittman's game is his blocking, downfield blocking. I think that's why Jonathan Taylor's really successful. I think Michael Pittman's one of the best downfield blocking receivers I've seen. As a receiver, yeah, he's good. He plays over the middle well, can play toward the boundary well. He uses his size well. Great timing, good hands. Everything you want in a receiver. But he's not. I think Christian Kirk's better. I do. Gerald says, Trevor is probably the best running quarterback in the division, too. Yeah. I mean, a young Ryan Tannehill could have made a case, but you're right. You're right now. Edgardo Silva. I want to see a pic from Campbell tomorrow. A pic. I thought you were going to a picture from me from the stadium. I was like, no problem, bro. But you want to see a picture, or you want to see an interception from Campbell tomorrow? Yeah, me too. Me too. Volkfang, Tannehill is meh, flip-flops between good and bad. Davis doesn't have the same raw talent as T-Law, and Matt Ryan is aging only slightly more gracefully than Big Ben. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys watch Pro Football Talk. Chris Sims had a nice piece on Trevor, and he went to the Hall of Fame game, and he said that this is Chris Sims now. He said he flip-flopped on how he felt about Trevor. He originally had Trevor as someone that he didn't think was going to be as good as everyone thought, to just watching him in warm-ups and seeing how much better he is now, and just like the little nuances that only quarterbacks understand from what he explained. He said he's a huge believer in Trevor, and he thinks the Jaguars are one of the teams that are going to have the biggest improvements this year. From Chris Sims. I know people don't like Chris Sims, but if it gives you a compliment, I'll take it for sure. Tiger Talk. UCF Jaguar wanted Calvin Ridley. Good thing that didn't happen. I mean, he wanted Calvin Ridley because of his skill, but you're right. The gambling thing didn't help that for sure. K. Charles, when Hutch came out with his dream journal printed inside his jacket, I was like, dodged a bullet. That's mean. That's mean and accurate. Cade. It's mean and accurate. Robert Atchard, Cisco is going to get the pick. Cisco does come down with interception. That dude's at the right place at the right time. If I were ever bought a lottery ticket, and I could get Andre Cisco's numbers, I would pick him to pick the numbers because he's always at the right place at the right time. Ben Haney says we've never beaten Matt Ryan, nor Tannehill, nor Davis. Ben Haney, get your logic out of here. User says Sims said T-Law has been working with Peyton Manning as well. You're right. You're right. He did say that. Volkfang, I don't think that there's a big gap between the weapons on the Colts and the Titans and the offensive weapons on the Jaguars. The thing, I don't know, man. I don't know. The wild card there is Christian Kirk. Now, here's the problem. I would take the weapons on the Jags, the skill positions on the Jags over both those teams. But I would take both offensive lines from the Colts and the Titans over the Jags. So I guess that's the trade-off. I'm a big offensive line guy. I would rather have a solidified offensive line and a weaker skill position group than vice versa. Some people don't feel that same way. I think the game's won in the trenches, so give me the better offensive line. You got a guy like Quentin Nelson, Taylor Lewan, Ryan Kelly. Those are players. Now, we hope Brandon Sheriff's that. And if he can stay healthy, he is that. So that's why I've made the proclamations. I think the Jaguars will be one of the better teams in the AFC South because if Brandon Sheriff ends up being comparable and brings up the skill level, and Cam Robinson, can we talk for a second about how Cam Robinson has just been playing out of his mind? Completely out of his mind. Shay says, did you watch Hard Knocks? I watched just the clips, not the actual episode yet, but I will because I like Dan Campbell. UCF Jaguar. Oh, he has got to defend himself. He says, I wanted Calvin Ridley not knowing the facts. UCF Jaguar, you don't have to defend yourself around here. Tiger Talk. Yeah, he's really talented. I wanted him too. Matthew McCray. Should Visca be more of an H-back? I don't think so. He's never played that role. I don't necessarily think he's a strong blocker. Although he is thick and physical and aggressive, he's not the type of guy that's going to get his hands on you and block you, which is weird. Like, I actually think he's a pretty poor blocking receiver, unfortunately. He's never had to do it. In Colorado, I'm sure in high school, in college, he was the guy that caught the screen and ran. He wasn't the guy that blocked. So I think you're seeing that now. Robert Atcher says, Hutch keeps getting stuffed at the line. Go T-Rex. I haven't watched Hard Knocks. I need to watch it. I think Visca will have a good year. Okay. I do too. I hope and pray. I pray. I'm a man of faith. I pray that he has a good year. Look, we're at an hour. So before we get, let's get Shay's comment in here. Why is Visca not playing? Is he hurt? Can't be that big of a lock for the roster. So Shay, you bring up a good point. Visca is a guy that I've always had in my mind as a guy that could be on the chopping block. Like, this front office and regime chose to extend Laquan Treadwell. Some food for thought. Food for thought. Love Cam yawning after Chazon's pass rush. That was funny. But it's Chazon, so you can't. Although he did play well, I thought, against the third team of the Raiders. We'll see. All right, that's an hour show, boys. That's it. And I'm pumped for tomorrow. Thank you guys for being here in the live show. Not going to be doing a show tomorrow because I'm going to be at the game. So, again, please hit me up. We're going to be at the game. We're definitely going to be having a good time. So, if you hit me up, you know where to find me. I'm not hard to find. Shout out to all the super chats and the membership. Like, you guys are so awesome. I really do appreciate it. T-Law with the $5 super chat. Jesus is King ended up giving $15. Thank you, Jesus King. I really do appreciate that. Pine Sparrow with the $9 donation. Thank you. You guys are awesome. We got 21 Baltus becoming a channel member. We had people subscribing during the show. Thank you guys so much, man. I really do appreciate it. I have a lot of fun on these. I'm glad you guys are here for it. I really appreciate the support. It humbles me every time that we're on here. I have a lot of fun. I hope you guys have enjoyed the more content recently. I honestly have enjoyed it. I have. And it's because of you guys, so I really do appreciate it. Make sure that you like the video. Thank you, Matthew. Like the video. That helps the algorithm. Tell a friend that's a Jags fan. That helps too. Word of mouth. I'd rather you tell someone than like the video because I'm more of an organic grower, not a shower. Yeah, see what I did there? Thank you. My jokes are getting stale. I might jump on Twitch here for fun. I'm on Twitch, Jags_United. Talk more Jags, things like that. Appreciate it. Thank you. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow at the game, and